and it runs for 24 hours. The most famous part of New York is Manhattan. Every day, 2.5 million people travel into Manhattan for work, and every year, about 50 million tourists come here to visit. Because the city is so busy, it's difficult to get around. For many years, people didn't walk very far because the sidewalks were so crowded. They didn't cycle either because the traffic was so dangerous. They always took the subway or drove their own cars. So, for many years, a lot of people in New York didn't get much exercise. Because they were very busy, they ate a lot of bad food too. It isn't a surprise that a lot of New Yorkers were unhealthy. But in 2002, the mayor of New York City, Michael Bloomberg, decided to try and change things. He told New Yorkers to take more exercise, leave their cars at home, and eat better food. So what changed? Well, New Yorkers take more exercise now. Even in winter, there are lots of runners and joggers in Central Park. And now they can also run and walk here, on the High Line. The High Line was an overhead railway on Manhattan's west side. In 2006, it reopened as a park. It is now a great place to jog, walk, or relax. In May 2013, New York finally got a bike scheme. With city bikes, you can rent a bike anywhere in the city for nearly $10 a day. Now, 42,000 people use these bikes in the city every day. New Yorkers also eat better now. You can still eat every kind of food in the city, but the restaurant menus tell you how many calories are in your meal, so you know more about the food you're eating. Of course, you can't change everything. Some people here still don't take enough exercise, and many people still enjoy a slice of real New York pizza. But more and more New Yorkers now enjoy a happier, healthier lifestyle.
How do you keep fit?
I play golf twice a week and I also swim.
I go running once or twice a week, and I also do some exercise classes in the evenings.
I cycle to keep fit. I cycle to work every day.
I like to swim and I like to go to the gym.
I do some sports and I eat healthy food.
What should you do to stay healthy?
You should eat fresh vegetables, eat less salt and eat less sugar.
You should do some exercise a few times a week and eat lots of fruit and vegetables.
You should walk wherever you can.
To stay healthy, you should eat lots of fruits and vegetables, and you should go to the gym.
You shouldn't eat too much fat.
Or relax on the beach. Others prefer exciting adventure holidays. They hike through mountains, go trekking across the desert, or ride boats through dangerous waters. Sarah Darby is one of these people. Sarah is from Oxford in the United Kingdom. She took 3 months holiday from work and went on a cycling trip in South America.
I journeyed to Patagonia, starting off in Ushuaia, which is the southernmost city on Earth. I flew my bicycle out from Britain to Ushuaia, and I wanted to cycle the Carretera Austral.
The Carretera Austral is a 1,240-kilometer-long highway. It runs through Patagonia and Chile, and goes through some of the most remote areas in the world. So why did Sarah decide to go there?
I decided to go to Patagonia because it was an opportunity to go to a different continent, and I just thought, well, you know, Patagonia is a dream place to go to if you like remote and wild places.
One of Sarah's favourite things about the journey was the scenery. The landscape was amazing, and the colours changed all the time, from red to orange, yellow, green, and even grey. But that wasn't the only thing she liked about the journey.
The other thing that amazed me about the place was the people. They're really, really generous, and you know, they often buy you coffee or a bowl of chips or even lunch. You know, after a whole day of cycling, they kind of want to help you out, and yeah, the people are amazing.
But cycling through this beautiful but empty landscape wasn't easy.
I read a lot of horror stories before I went about the Carretera Austral. It's a very lonely, empty road. There's hardly any traffic on it.
The road was in a very bad condition, and she fell off her bike a lot of times. She sometimes had to push the bike, which wasn't easy.
The whole bike weighed 46 kilograms, so it's heavy. And I'm you know, quite a fit, strong person, I think, but it was difficult.
Sarah wanted to cycle the entire highway, but she only had 3 months, and she wanted to see a lot of places. So what other kind of transport did she use?
Chile's a very, very long country, and I really wanted to get to the very northern tip and see the Atacama Desert as well. So after cycling, I left my bike in Santiago, and I used overnight buses. I did use pickup trucks when I needed to. I also used boats, and I took a flight to Easter Island as the very last thing.
Sarah travelled from the southern tip of Patagonia to the Atacama Desert in northern Chile. It was an incredible journey, with lots of amazing things to do and see.
When did you last have a holiday?
2 months ago.
I went on holiday about 3 weeks ago.
I last went on holiday 2 months ago.
I went on holiday last summer.
A month ago.
Where did you go?
I went to Corfu in Greece.
I visited a number of cities in Europe, for example, Paris, Amsterdam and Berlin.
I went on holiday to Lisbon in Portugal.
I went to Spain.
I went to Geneva in Switzerland.
What did you do?
Nothing too much, I just relaxed by the swimming pool.
In the days, we visited lots of monuments, for example, the Eiffel Tower, and in the evenings, I went out with friends.
We walked a lot around the town, which is very hilly.
We went to the beach, we went swimming in the sea, and we went to restaurants.
I was visiting a friend.
Its simple recipe and basic ingredients mean that many countries now have their own pizza style. American pizza, for example, is very popular, especially Chicago's deep pan style. But the original pizza comes from Naples, in the Campania region of Italy. La Cucina's chefs are very serious about pizza, and they make each one to a traditional recipe. To make the dough, they use wheat flour, yeast, and water, and season with some salt. They don't use any other ingredients, and they certainly don't use any additives. When the dough is ready, they make the sauce. They chop onion and fry it in olive oil. Then they add good quality Italian tomatoes and some salt. When the sauce has cooled, they carefully put some on the base. Then they add the mozzarella, a cheese from southern Italy. Then the pizza is ready to go into the hot pizza oven. It stays there for about 10 minutes until the base is golden brown. A few basil leaves on top, and there you are, the perfect pizza. This is the traditional pizza margherita, the original pizza. But La Cucina sells many different kinds. There's pizza romana with olives and artichokes, pizza al funghi with mushroom and garlic, and pizza alla verdure with peppers, onions, aubergine and courgette. They even do a your choice. Customers can choose how many toppings and how much cheese they want. Finally, when the pizza is finished, they serve it with nothing. Pizza is so good, they always eat it solo.
How much time do you spend in your kitchen?
Very little.
I spend about half an hour a day in the kitchen.
Not much at all.
I spend very little time in my kitchen.
I spend very little time in my kitchen.
What's usually in your fridge?
In my fridge, there is dairy, salads, orange juice.
Chicken, fish, a lot of vegetables, milk and yogurt.
There's not much in my fridge.
Not very much. I usually just have prawns in my refrigerator.
In my fridge there is milk, orange juice, cheese.
And each year, over 4 million visitors come here. They usually drive to the canyon's southern rim and enjoy the famous views from Lippen Point. They take photographs of the Palisades, the southeastern wall of the canyon, and look out at the Echo and Vermilion cliffs. Tourists also visit the historic buildings along the south rim, such as the Desert View Watchtower and Lookout Studio. Some even take the Grand Canyon Railway, which stops in Grand Canyon Village. Afterwards, they go to the Grand Canyon Visitor Center. Here they can learn all about the canyon's history, geography, and wildlife. There are maps, interactive displays, and games for children. People like looking at the canyon, but very few visitors travel into the canyon. There is so much more to see inside. The bottom of the canyon is much warmer than the top. At the top, there are cool fir forests, but as you go further, it becomes hotter and drier, and it looks like nowhere else in the world. The Colorado River runs through the canyon. It is 300 feet wide and 100 feet deep. Over millions of years, it cut through the rock and created the canyon. In fact, the river is still changing the inside of the canyon today. The canyon is beautiful. There are incredible views here, and because there isn't any pollution, it has some of the cleanest air in the country. It's an amazing place, and everybody should come at least once in their lifetime. It's great fun too, and there are lots of activities for any age. Visitors can go rafting down the river or go on a helicopter ride over the canyon's amazing landscape. The Grand Canyon isn't the longest canyon in the world. There are others that are wider and deeper too. But there are very few places that are so spectacular.
What's the most beautiful part of your country?
I live in the United States, and the most beautiful part of my country is Florida.
I think North Devon is the most beautiful part of our country.
I like Yorkshire in the north of England.
I live in Spain, and the Costa Brava is very, very beautiful.
The most beautiful part of my country is the Lake District.
When's the best time to visit?
The best time to visit Florida is in the winter because it's less humid and less hot.
The best time to visit is in the spring, so you can surf.
In the summertime when the weather is nice.
The summer is very lovely. The sun is always shining. It's very warm, but the winter is also beautiful and peaceful.
The best time to visit is the summertime for the weather.
This area doesn't look very modern, but it's one of the biggest technology hubs in the world. This is Silicon Fen, Europe's Silicon Valley. There are over 1,500 science and technology companies around here. One of the most famous companies here is the processor design company ARM. The business began in a small office on Cambridge Science Park in 1990. Today, the company's headquarters are still only a short drive from Cambridge. But the building is much bigger and a lot more people work here. ARM also has offices in continental Europe, North America, Asia, and the Middle East, and employs more than 3,000 people. It provides technology to some of the world's most popular electronics companies, including Apple and Samsung. The company's technology is in 95% of smartphones. In fact, around 4.3 billion people use a device with an ARM chip every day. That's 60% of the world's population. Companies like ARM have made this area of the Fens one of the most important innovation centres in the world. But why are there so many technology companies in this remote area? There are several reasons for this. First of all, it's near London, and there are airports to the west and several major seaports to the east. Another reason is that there are excellent local facilities. There are fantastic roads and a great rail system. But the most important reason is Cambridge University. It is one of the oldest and most successful universities in the world. Some of the world's most brilliant scientists have worked here, such as Isaac Newton and Stephen Hawking. Over hundreds of years, the university has made many exciting scientific discoveries. All of these businesses are only a few miles from Cambridge, and most have a connection with the university. The university provides talented graduates and new technology, so it's a great place for small businesses to start and big businesses to grow. Experts call this the Cambridge phenomenon. The university encourages small businesses to start, these businesses become successful big businesses, and more small businesses start around them. All of these companies are connected, and they can share information, knowledge, and resources. And this is the real secret to Cambridge's success. Businesses work well when they work together. Thanks to this collaboration, Silicon Fen is going to grow and develop, making it a better place to do business in the future.
Have you ever done something to help your community?
Yes, I have.
Yes, I have.
Yes, I have.
Yes, I've done a few things to help my community.
Yes, I have.
What did you do?
I have given money to charity.
A few years ago, I did a fun run with my family to raise money for a charity.
I helped manage money for a charity.
I served soup and pudding to help raise money for the local primary school.
I volunteered for a church near where I live. I helped prepare food for poor people in the area.
From ancient Greece to Shakespeare's London, people have always watched plays. But some things have changed. In Shakespeare's time, most people could afford the theatre. The rich sat in the balconies, and the poor sat on the floor, but they all watched the same play. Today, many theatres are very expensive. Ticket prices have increased a lot over the last few years. In London's West End, for example, the average ticket price is £81 sterling, and on Broadway, it's just under $100. Many of us can't afford these prices. So there are lots of people, especially young people, who have never been to the theatre. But some theatres are changing this. Park Theatre is in Finsbury Park in North London. It's a very modern theatre in an old office block. It has several different spaces, including Park 200, a large theatre with 200 seats, Park 90, a smaller theatre with 90 seats, and the Morris Space, an area for rehearsals, workshops, and classes. The organisers of the project, Jez and Melly Bond, started Park Theatre to help more people see good plays. They encourage everyone, theatre fans and first-timers, to come and enjoy the theatre. They do this in different ways. First, they keep prices low. Every ticket costs less than £20, so it's affordable. They also make sure there's lots of variety. They stage all kinds of plays, from old classics to modern musicals, so it's got something for everyone. At the moment, for example, they are showing Crystal Springs. This is a modern play about teenagers, parents, and social media. They are also preparing for the children's pantomime, Jack and the Beanstalk. In its short history, Park Theatre has been very successful. It has attracted large audiences from all kinds of backgrounds. So just like in Shakespeare's time, everyone can enjoy the theatre.
Do you use technology a lot in your life?
I use it every day.
Yes, I use it every day.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I use technology a lot.
Yes, I do.
What do you use every day and what for?
I use the computer every day at work.
I use my phone and my tablet every day.
I use a computer daily and I use it to send emails.
I use my smartphone every day to keep in contact with my friends.
I use my laptop every day for work, for writing.
What do you use occasionally?
There's nothing I use occasionally. I use my computer and my smartphone every day.
I watch the television occasionally because I prefer to watch my favourite television programmes on my tablet.
I occasionally use GPS.
Occasionally I use tablets and laptops to do research.
I occasionally use my record player to play music.